Hello everyone, this is FTC 5795. I'm Zeel Patel, and this is day 2 of week 1 of our FLL robotics lessons. So last week we covered, or last day we covered the basics of first, like FLL. We covered gracious professionalism, cooperation, the very basics of that. We'll go into more detail in this video. Um, we also went over like the robot game, the core values, the project, and like the types of brick databases that are used throughout FLL. So in this video, we'll dive into gracious professionalism and cooperation a lot more in detail and what others have to say about it. So in a little more detail, so gracious professionalism is one of the key aspects of FIRST and in the community as well. So it encourages high quality work, it emphasizes the values of others. You also respect individuals in the community and in also the community. There's fierce competition, but there's also respect and kindness in the process, and it's also part of pursuing a meaningful life. So this video is a deconstruction of gracious professionalism. You can check out the link. I have it in the link, and it'll be in the description, obviously. So pretty much it kind of states what I said earlier, but it comes from a student's POV. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. So when and where does gracious professionalism apply? So gracious professionalism is part of the ethos of FIRST, and it should be evident during the building season as well as parts of competition, actually throughout all of competition. And it applies both on and off the field as we interact with other teams. So not only does gracious professionalism relate to FIRST LEGO League, but it applies to our school attitudes, family life, work relationships, business, everything. How can we show gracious professionalism? So gracious professionalism can be shown in multiple ways. So first of all, you want to show respect for your teammates, your coaches, your mentors, whoever is helping you or helping you or being on you with the path that you're taking. You also want to make sure that everyone on your team has an opportunity to learn, contribute, and participate. At competitions, you want to share tools, technology, or knowledge with other teams to increase the competitiveness of play. And you also want to encourage other teams and thank those who have contributed to your opportunity to participate in FLL. So why should we show gracious professionalism? So this is really important, and many people just think that it's an ideology, but it actually affects you long term and like the decisions that you make. So you will use this skill in many areas of your life. So teamwork and cooperation are also important aspects of families and work. So learning how to be cooperative and competitive at the same time will help you thrive in your future career. So cooperation. Cooperation produces innovation. At first, cooperation is displaying unqualified kindness and respect in the face of fierce competition. Cooperation is founded on the concept and a philosophy that teams can and should help and cooperate with each other even as they compete. Cooperation involves learning from teammates, mentors, and teachers, but at the same time helping out teammates, mentors, and teachers. Obviously, that might have been a little bit of a tongue twister. So the first part said you involve learning from those people, and then at the same time you want to help those people out in return. Cooperation means to compete at all times, but assisting and enabling others when possible. So an example of this is sharing a spare part or battery charger with another team so they have a fair chance to compete. So these are the judging rubrics. I'm not going to go over them in detail, but I'll show you what they have. So this is the link that it will send you to, and you'll be able to open up the link where you get on, when you get onto there. Okay. All right, so core values rubric. So this is an example of the core values rubric. Every rubric will look like this, similar or very similar to this. The core values one actually very rarely changes. They always want to know like the discovery, your team identity, your impact, effectiveness, efficiency. If the kids are doing all the work, inclusion, respect, and cooperation. And obviously, core values is one of the main categories in the FLL competitions. That's like 33% of your overall score. So it's a super important rubric. And it would be very beneficial if you go over the rubric ahead of time before your competition so you know what you're dealing with. So obviously we said this in our last video, the 6 core values of FIRST: discovery, innovation, fun, teamwork, inclusion, and impact. We'll go a little bit into detail about those. So discovery. So in discovery, you're exploring and improving skills that fall into 3 aspects of FIRST, or FLL specifically: the robot game, the project, and core values. And for example, you're going to find out how to make a certain attachment for the robot and including it in your robot for your competition. So whenever you want to talk about discovery, provide examples from the season that your team discovered were not directly focused on gaining an advantage in the competition or winning an award. Innovation. So using creativity and persistence to solve real world problems. So for example, innovation could be the creation of phones because they help speed up communication across the world. And thinking of an attachment or robot path that will help you do more in one mission in the robot game is an example of innovation. For example, on the robot field, there's many tasks. I think there's usually like 18 or so, and you could probably knock out like 2 or 3 of them in one go if you really chose to and be innovative with it. Impact. Using what you have learned through activities and using them in the real world to improve the quality of the world. And so applying knowledge of EV3 robots and using similar skills with other robots in the world. And using gracious professionalism everywhere you compete in and make the world more peaceful and enjoyable. So on the bottom right is an example of the FLL field. This is called this season. This season specifically was City Shaper. It was the 2019-2020 season. Um, yeah, so that's just a basic idea of how the field looks. The size of the field has changed a few times over the past few years, but that's not a huge deal. You can kind of see the layout of the tasks that are at hand, and there's also like random lines where you could be innovative, follow the lines, and there's many other ways you could be innovative and have impact on in the community. Not only on this, but this also like demonstrates a real life problem, and like skyscrapers being like the new uh, like construction topic over like the past decade or two, and that's kind of how we're evolving to impact our society. Inclusion, so listening to everyone even though they have different thoughts than you do, and accepting your differences. So although you don't want to listen to someone, listen to them because they might have something important to say. You want to make sure that everyone feels that they are included on the team and how you accomplish more by working as a team. Teamwork, so working together to get more work done in a more efficient manner. Instead of having one person do all the work, having more people work together will help to improve the quality of work. So one person doing all the work will take a long time, while everyone doing work will take less time, which leaves more time for doing other things such as actually like enjoying uh, FLL, which is the one we're going into now, or the core value we're talking about next. Fun. So have fun at all times and know that it is about learning and not only winning. Even if you don't win at a competition, you know that you did all that you could and know that you have learned something new throughout the season. And so this is an example of a competition video. Obviously, I'll link in the description. It takes you to the 2018 or 2019 first first championship in Houston, and there's just videos throughout showing what the first championship was like. So thank you. We'll continue this series in next week videos. There'll be 2 videos like usual, and we'll probably do 2 videos each week.